What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Rust electrical tutorial. I'm Gneissish, and today we are talking about the solar panels. There was an update fairly recently that kind of redefined how you deploy these and use these, and today we're going to talk about all those and make sure that we clear up any misconceptions so that you can use them efficiently. So to start with, we're just going to start with crafting. It needs a level 1 workbench. You can craft them for 5 high qual and 1 tech trash. You can also, sometimes even more simply, just purchase one or whatever you need from Outpost for 75 scrap. Either way is your choice. As far as like things to know about them deployed, if they're shaded too far, in this case we've got one down here that's shaded, so it's putting out nothing. But that said, using building techniques, building tricks, I have one encased in a box here that is actually clipping through the wall, but not that you can see, and it's putting out a full 20. If this is something you're interested in, it's very simple. You just place a twig, you'd use twig off of the foundation you're going to put it on. Make sure that foundation is facing the direction that you want, in this case north, and then you just place it with about that far from where they mate together. There you go. And then you can break that, and I'll make this stone. And then it needs to be stone as far as I can recall, and then you can encase it like so. And if you were to look at the output, it is putting out 20, even though it's clipping. It just uses the fact that it's clipping through the wall. So this is a great way to make trap bases, or to make a base and hide your power sources from people. You can stack these going up like so, as far as you want. So that's that. As far as placement goes, the direction of placement, they need to be either north or south, and that's part of the new point. Rust used to be where it was the the sky dome here. Now it's the sun actually is basically north of the island for most of the year, and it goes by season. So as the seasons go, it changes its position in the sky, and so whether you place it north or south is actually going to depend on how long the wipe is on your server, and that's what we're going to talk about down there. The last thing we'll talk about, besides it facing north or south, is that you'll notice this one is putting out 11 and it's facing north. This one's putting out 20 and it's facing north. That's because this one's damaged. So you're going to want to make sure that if your solar panels are damaged, by you either picking them up to reposition them or somebody damaging them, that you fix them, or they will output a lesser amount. Okay, so how do you decide whether to place it north or whether to place it south? And that comes down to the time of year. So right now we have a north facing that's putting out 20, and we have a south facing that's putting out 3. That's because we're in May, and there's an amount of months in the game where north is going to be the primary direction, the best direction, and then a lesser amount of months where south is the best. So right now we're in May. If I were to change this to say December, what you'll notice is the south is now going to put out 20 and north puts out less. So the south is the preferred direction. And so that's the new change, is that the solar panels are going to be based on the direction or the month that you're in, and in that the time, the point in the year that you're at. So here's the data, and I'm going to explain how I experimented with this, and then I'm going to clarify this and make this much easier down here at the end. So the sort of just quick and dirty is that they put out 0 to 20 volts depending on the time of day, and assuming that they are not damaged and that they are pointing the correct direction. On wipe day, so any server that wipes, it resets the calendar in Rust to May 20th, 2024. And so you will always start, whenever a wipe starts, that it starts on May 20th in the Rust calendar. You'll have to note that a Rust day length is 1 hour in real life. So 1 hour is one day in Rust. And then here's what I did here was I did an experiment where I took a voltage reading on the 15th of every month throughout the year to see what they put out, and this is what I got, was that January and February, it's 15 in January, and then it gets into 20 on February. But basically February through October, and actually just up through November 4th, it's actually 20 volts for a north facing solar panel. And so the star there on May is that's the fresh wipe start date, and then from November, December, looping back around to January, and then into February, a south facing solar panel is going to put out 20, so it'll be dominant. So what you have to know is you start on May 20th, And so when you first start, you're going to be sort of in the middle of the maximum north, and you can see there's much more 20s in the north than there are south. So clearly, if you're going to pick one or the other, pick north. And right here, you'll notice that, if you really want to know the actual dates from February 15th to November 4th, it's 20 volts for north. And then the max volt south is from November 5th, looping back around to February 14th for 20 volts max voltage south. So how do you use all this? I mean, this is, what are you going to do? Keep track of the date in the game? Like, I don't think so. The best way to do this is to equate this to the duration of, since wipe. And so that's what I've done here, is I have made a correlation between the two so that you can see, based on your server that you're playing on's wipe schedule, what direction. So for the first 7 days from 0, so in real life days, IRL in real life days since wipe, 0 to 7 days in real life, you're going to point them north. And so for 1 week servers, you guys have it easy. And since that's a majority of servers are a week or less, this is actually really great. So from 0 to 7 days, you're going to point them north, and that's going to correlate from May 20th through basically November 4th on the chart on the left there. And you'll end up with 20 volts max if you point them due north. Okay, and so, but for servers that are, say, 2 week wipes, you're going to have to swap them around twice if you want to keep them maximized. And so on day 7, at the end of day 7 through day 11.25, so 11.25 days, you have to turn them around to south, and that's going to equate to on the left there from basically November, December, January into February. And then if you're, and that'll take care of part of your second week for a 2 week server. But then you're going to have to flop them back north again from 11.25 days to 22, which is beyond 2 weeks. So you would be done at that point if you're on a 2 week server. For anything going beyond that, which is mostly going to be month servers, from 22.25 to 26.5, you have to go south again. And again, that's that loop from November, December, January, February. And then you're going to have to put them north again, 26 to force wipe, which corresponds to the February through October, early November run of 11 days. And so it seems a little complicated, but if you follow this schedule, you can just set, maybe even just set an alarm, a calendar alarm in real life, so you know when to swap these over. So I know this is kind of a little complicated, with the new system. So if you have any questions about that, of course you can get with me and I can clear this up for you. But that, folks, is all I've got. If you have any questions, you can leave in the comments. Otherwise, you can get me on my Discord. See you later.